The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that the drama in Los Angeles explodes into one of the most violent and emotionally charged storylines in recent memory, all centered around Deacon Sharp, Thomas Forrester, and Taylor Hayes. What begins as a heated argument between Thomas and Deacon turns into a brutal confrontation that leaves Deacon seriously injured and Taylor facing a life-altering decision that could change the course of her family forever. It all begins with Thomas's growing frustration over the chaos surrounding Hope and Liam's upcoming wedding, Sheila's re-emergence in Deacon's life, and the ongoing emotional damage it's doing to his family. Thomas has been working hard to prove that he's changed, that he's stable and focused, but all that progress is tested when he learns Deacon has been secretly helping Sheila again. To Thomas, that's the ultimate betrayal, because he knows how much pain Sheila has caused Steffi, Finn, and the entire Forrester family. When Thomas confronts Deacon at Il Giardino, the argument starts civilly. Thomas demands to know why Deacon continues to defend Sheila after everything she's done. Deacon tries to explain that Sheila is still the woman he loves, that she's trying to change, and that he can't just turn his back on her. But Thomas isn't buying it. He warns Deacon that Sheila doesn't change, she manipulates, and anyone who protects her becomes her next pawn. The tension escalates fast. Thomas accuses Deacon of being weak, of putting the Forresters in danger by helping Sheila. Deacon fires back that Thomas has no right to judge anyone, not after his history with Hope, Douglas, and the lies he's told. Thomas, already on edge, snaps. The fight becomes physical, and in a moment of blinding rage, Thomas hits Deacon. One punch turns into several as years of resentment, guilt, and fury pour out of Thomas. Deacon falls, hitting his head on the edge of a table, and everything goes silent. Realizing what he's done, Thomas freezes. Deacon is bleeding and unconscious. The horror of the moment sinks in as Thomas realizes he may have just killed a man. He rushes to call for help, but panic overtakes him. He flees the scene, terrified of what this will do to his family and his fragile reputation. When paramedics arrive, they find Deacon barely clinging to life. He's rushed to the hospital and word spreads fast. Hope, utterly devastated, races to his side. She can't believe someone would do this to her father, and when she learns Thomas was the last person seen with him, the truth becomes undeniable. The confrontation sends Hope into emotional shock. Torn between rage and heartbreak, she refuses to let Thomas near her or her son. Taylor, meanwhile, gets the news that Thomas has confessed everything to her privately. He breaks down, saying he didn't mean to hurt Deacon, that he just lost control. Taylor is horrified, but maternal instinct takes over. She knows her son could face prison, and the psychiatrist in her recognizes that Thomas is slipping into a dangerous emotional state. This is where Taylor's shocking decision comes in. Instead of urging Thomas to turn himself in, she decides to cover for him. Taylor tells him to leave town, to go somewhere quiet until they can figure out what to do. Her reasoning is that Thomas was provoked, that it was an accident, and that the truth would only destroy his progress and his future. She believes she can buy him time by deflecting suspicion and using her influence at the hospital to slow down the investigation. But Taylor's choice comes with consequences. Ridge soon finds out what she's done and is torn between protecting his son and doing what's right. Brooke, furious and heartbroken for Hope, demands justice for Deacon and calls Taylor's actions unforgivable. The rift between the Forresters and Logans deepens once again, this time darker and more personal than ever. As Deacon remains in critical condition, Sheila makes her move. When she learns that her beloved Deacon has been beaten nearly to death, and that Thomas Forrester is responsible, she vows revenge. Sheila storms into Forrester Creations with one thing on her mind: payback. She threatens Taylor, telling her that if she doesn't turn her son in, she'll do it herself, and she means it. The fallout is massive. Hope shuts Thomas out completely, declaring that she'll never forgive him if her father dies. Ridge is trapped between his love for Taylor and his guilt over what Thomas has done. And Taylor, once again, finds herself living with the unbearable weight of a secret that could destroy her entire family. The next few episodes promise high emotional stakes as Deacon's condition remains uncertain. Doctors warn Hope that he may not wake up, and if he does, there's a chance he could have long-term damage. That pushes Taylor's guilt to the breaking point. She begins to question